My name is Jaszver Bauzon. I'm 30 years old. I was born in the Philippines, but raised in LA. I now live in New York City, and I work in corporate financial communications. I was born in a region that's about 3 hours north of Manila called Pangasinan. Came here to the US when I was about 6 years old, pretty much raised in LA. My dad is a region called in Pangasinan, and my mom is Ilocano. Given all that, as American as I may appear with my native English, I think I'm equal parts Filipino. I think some of the best breakfast foods that I look forward to waking up to are smelly fried fish, and I think the best jokes are said in our dialect. I would say in my preteens, I would see guys I would take notice of, say their nice hair. I'm like, wow, like I wish I had nice hair like that. Or wow, that guy dresses really, really well. I want to have his style. It came to a point where I was like, wow, that guy's really handsome. I want him. Around my teens, when my peers were going through confirmation, it also coincided with the time when I was, figuring out my identity. I didn't think it was right nor genuine for me to do confirmation, to go through the motion of getting confirmed for the sake of getting confirmed. And it wouldn't have been fair to me or the church. And I would say for a time, I did fall away from church. I would say I was borderline agnostic, didn't go to church for a number of years. Then one day, my senior year of college, it was a random Sunday, I woke up, I just had this urge to go to Mass, and I did. And I slowly started trickling back to church. And I think God works in mysterious ways that way. Fast forward many, many years later, moving to New York, I wanted to find friends who were not only ambitious, but spiritual. And I found it in a church here in New York City with a gay and lesbian ministry. I remember my confirmation day. It was a sunny day, spring of last year. I wore my Barong Tagalog, which is formal traditional Filipino attire. Same one that I wore to my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary in the Philippines a couple years ago, so it has very special meaning to me. For confirmation, I chose one of my dear friends through church and through our gay and lesbian ministry to be my confirmation sponsor. His name is Santi. Through him, he represents, I guess, the intercession of the church, the ministry, and the friends who I consider family that brought me back to the church. To me, it was a very special moment when I stood up and I received the oil on my forehead. To have Santi's, hand over my shoulder and to turn around and see the aisle with all my friends was very special to me, and I will, something I always remember. It wasn't like I just found the church. I was born, baptized, and raised Catholic, but the timing for me to get confirmed when I was ready was when I'd figure out my identity. And I think now, having waited and going through the journey of, falling away from the church and coming back, means that being a confirmed Catholic is very, very special to me. There's not a day that goes by where I'm not thankful to Christ for what I have and what I've done. Sometimes when I'm early to work, I'll go a couple blocks out of my commute to drop by a local church and say a couple prayers and just be thankful. I feel like a lot of people are surprised when I tell them I'm Catholic or that I'm gay and that I'm both. But within my church, I can be both, and I feel like I'm more my true self. Most of my friends, if not all of them, I know through church. And for the first time in my life, I would say, being my true self, I found a family within the church. I would tell someone who is reconciling their faith with their sexuality that God loves everyone, and He'd never turn His back on anyone. I would say that His love for everyone is, fundamental and intrinsic to my foundation in the Catholic Church. If you feel that you've fallen away from, the church, there are churches out there that are open to gays and lesbians, who are open, equally open being gay and lesbian and Catholic. And so there's a family for you out there.